What if the most profound love story you'll ever experience isn't with another person, but with your own soul? Imagine waking up every day feeling deeply connected, understood, and truly loved by the one person who knows you best, yourself. This isn't just about self-care. It's about initiating a daily, transformative love affair that can gently unfold within you, wrapping your heart in a warmth you may have forgotten was always yours. There are 7 subtle signs that you may be missing the most important love story of your life, the one that exists at the very center of your being, the love you hold for yourself. Each sign is not a judgment or a flaw, but an invitation, an opportunity to notice where your connection with yourself has been overlooked, to awaken to the tender, steady love that has quietly waited for your attention all along. As we explore these 7 signs, you may begin to see patterns in your thoughts, your feelings, and your daily life, patterns that reveal how you've been giving your love outward while leaving your own heart unclaimed. If you allow yourself to feel deeply, even briefly, you may catch a glimpse of what it feels like to truly be in a daily transformative love affair with yourself. A love that is patient, unwavering, and ready to transform the way you experience every moment of your life. The first sign that you may be missing the most important love story of your life is the ache of unrecognized self-love. It is a quiet, tender longing that drifts through your days like a soft sigh your heart cannot quite name. It is not the world that is lacking, nor the people around you. It is the love you have yet to fully offer yourself. This ache whispers gently, inviting you to pause, to notice, and to turn your gaze inward, toward the one who has been waiting patiently, quietly, all along, you. You may feel it in subtle ways, a hesitation to honor your own needs, a fleeting dissatisfaction even in moments of comfort, a sense that something essential is absent. Perhaps you rush through your day without fully pausing, or you give endlessly to others while leaving your own heart untouched. These are not flaws. They are gentle reminders, little taps on the heart, guiding you back to the warmth that lives at the center of your being. This ache often carries with it a longing for something that seems out of reach, moments of joy that fade too quickly, happiness that depends on circumstance, a restlessness that nothing outside yourself can soothe. But the ache is not a punishment, it is a doorway. It is a call to reclaim the love that has been quietly waiting inside, to nurture it tenderly, and to allow it to grow into a daily, steadfast presence in your life. Sit with it for a moment. Feel the soft pull in your chest, the subtle yearning that asks you to turn inward. Notice the gentle warmth that begins to emerge when you pause and acknowledge yourself fully. This is the first step in a daily transformative love affair, a practice of noticing, honoring, and embracing your own heart. Each acknowledgement, each small act of tenderness, is a thread weaving the fabric of your love story with yourself. And as you begin to respond to this ache, you may notice the world around you changing, not because circumstances have shifted, but because your own heart has found its voice. The way you move, speak, and connect will carry the soft resonance of a love that no longer needs to seek itself outside. It blooms from within, quiet, unwavering, and profound, offering you a depth of connection that has always been yours to claim. Some hearts carry a quiet longing, reaching outward for the love that has always lived quietly within. This is the second sign, the pull of seeking love outside yourself. It appears in the subtle ways you look for validation, approval, or recognition, as if the world's gaze could fill the space in your own heart. Perhaps you linger on thoughts of comparison, replaying moments when you wish someone had noticed you more, or you crave acknowledgement for the tender, unseen parts of yourself. This longing is not a flaw. It is a mirror reflecting what has been patiently waiting inside you. Your heart reaches outward because it has yet to fully feel the love that has always been present within your own being. There's a delicate tension here, a restlessness that hums quietly beneath the surface, urging you to search, to seek, to hope that fulfillment lies elsewhere. Notice how it stirs in your chest, that subtle ache, the longing that pulses gently in quiet moments. Let it speak to you without judgment. Listen closely, and you may realize that this very pull is an invitation to turn inward, to cradle your own heart with the tenderness it has been waiting for, to meet your own longing with your own love. Imagine the transformation as you slowly answer this call. The external pull begins to soften, replaced by a warmth that radiates from within. You begin to honor yourself in small ways, pausing to acknowledge your own worth, giving yourself the recognition you once sought from others, nurturing the quiet spaces in your life that had been left unattended. Every act of self-recognition, every gentle acknowledgement of your own presence, becomes a thread weaving the tapestry of a daily transformative love affair with yourself. And as this inner love grows, you may notice subtle shifts in your world. Your interactions, your choices, the way you move through each day, they carry a soft resonance of the heart fully acknowledged. The longing for external approval begins to ease, replaced by the quiet, unwavering presence of the love that has always been yours. The pull of seeking love outside yourself slowly dissolves into the gentle realization that the most profound love story you will ever experience has been patiently waiting inside you all along. The third sign, the discomfort of silence, reveals itself in the uneasy moments when you find yourself alone with your own thoughts. Perhaps you fidget, scroll, or fill the quiet with noise, as if stillness itself were something to escape. That subtle resistance, that small aversion to being with yourself, is not mere restlessness. It is a gentle indicator that the most important love story of your life is waiting to be noticed. In the hush of these moments, you may feel a stirring in your chest, a quiet tension that seems to whisper, "You have been avoiding me." The discomfort is not punishment. It is the language of longing, a soft call to turn inward and offer the presence, attention, and compassion that your own heart has been quietly seeking. Imagine sitting with that silence, letting it stretch without trying to fill it. Notice the small thoughts that arise, the memories, the subtle ache, and breathe into them. The discomfort gradually softens as you allow yourself to simply be with yourself without expectation or judgment. Here in the stillness, the love you've been missing begins to reveal itself, patient, tender, unwavering. This is a daily, transformative love affair waiting to unfold. The discomfort of silence gently invites you to reconnect with the rhythm of your own heart, to hear the quiet whispers of your own needs and desires, and to recognize that the presence you seek has always been inside. Each moment of stillness, each act of noticing yourself fully, strengthens the bond with your own being, revealing the love that has always been there, quietly and faithfully waiting. The fourth sign, the neglect of your own needs, reveals itself not always in grand gestures, but in the quiet, almost invisible ways you set yourself aside. It is the skipped meal because you were too busy, the late nights that stretch into exhaustion because you told yourself rest could wait, the boundary you wanted to speak but swallowed instead, hoping to keep the peace. It is in all the small sacrifices that seem harmless at first, but over time carve deep hollows in your heart. On the surface, it may look like kindness, generosity, or dedication, but beneath it lies a truth you can feel if you pause for even a moment. The one person you have forgotten to care for is yourself. And without realizing it, you begin to write yourself out of the story of your own life. This neglect does not come from malice. It is often born of love misunderstood. Perhaps you were taught that caring for yourself is selfish, that love means giving without limit, that your worth is measured by how much you sacrifice. And so you pour and pour, hoping that in emptying yourself, you will be filled in return. But slowly, gently, almost imperceptibly, your heart begins to ache from the weight of its own abandonment. Feel into this for a moment. Recall the last time you silenced your own need for rest, for truth, for space, and notice the subtle ache it left behind. That ache is not weakness. It is not failure. It is your own soul asking to be remembered. It is your being whispering, I too am worthy of tenderness. I too deserve the gentleness I so freely give away. The neglect of your own needs is a signpost, pointing you back to the soil of your own being. For love, like any living thing, needs nourishment. Without it, the roots weaken, the bloom fades. But when you begin to honor yourself, to rest when you are tired, to say no when your heart trembles with resistance to give yourself the same compassion you extend so easily to others, the soil grows rich again. Love finds its footing. Your heart begins to blossom, and this is not selfishness. It is truth. For when you tend to yourself with care, the love you offer to the world grows fuller, deeper, more authentic. It is no longer given from depletion, but from abundance. It flows naturally because you have allowed it to flow first to you. This is how neglect transforms into devotion. This is how forgetting turns into remembering. Each small act of honoring your needs becomes part of a daily transformative love affair with yourself. And in this love affair, you discover that caring for your own heart is not the end of love. It is the beginning. The fifth sign, the weight of constant comparison. It sneaks in quietly, disguised as observation, as admiration, even as inspiration. You scroll through images, watch others succeed, hear the stories of their lives, and without meaning to, you measure yourself against them. Their light begins to feel like your shadow. Their joy becomes a reminder of what you think you lack. Comparison is a thief, but its theft is subtle. It doesn't just steal your peace, it robs you of your own story. You begin to see yourself not through the truth of your soul, but through the distorted mirror of others' paths. You forget that your timing is your own, that your gifts, your struggles, your rhythms are unlike anyone else's. You forget that your soul is not here to compete. It is here to express, to create, to love in its own irreplaceable way. The weight of constant comparison is heavy because it presses you away from the center of your own being. It convinces you that love is scarce, that worth is measured, that happiness is something you must earn by outrunning everyone else. But the truth is softer, gentler. Love does not belong more to them than it does to you. The soul plays no favorites. What belongs to you cannot be diminished by another's light. Pause for a moment and breathe. Feel into the places where you've measured yourself against others, the envy, the longing, the quiet ache of not being enough. And then imagine laying that weight down. Imagine standing in the open field of your own life, seeing it not through comparison, but through presence. Can you feel the space that opens when you release the measuring stick? That space is love. Love for your own path, your own timing, your own unfolding. The weight of constant comparison is not a punishment. It is a sign, a tender reminder that you have stepped away from your own soul's embrace. And the way back is simple. Turn your gaze inward. Celebrate the light that already lives in you. Trust the rhythm that guides you. Let yourself be enough in this very moment. For when you stop measuring your worth against another's, you will finally remember that your soul has been loving you all along. There's a silence that carries weight, subtle, quiet, and almost imperceptible. The silence of dreams that have been set aside, postponed, or forgotten. This is the sixth sign, the silence of forgotten dreams. It begins softly, like morning mist slipping through the cracks of a window. You tell yourself you'll return to these dreams someday, when life is calmer, when responsibilities ease, when courage arrives. And yet, as the days turn into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years, the melody of those dreams fades, leaving only faint echoes in the corridors of your heart. Perhaps these were big dreams, traveling to faraway lands, creating art that could touch others, starting a life that felt truly yours. Or perhaps they were small, tender dreams, speaking your truth without fear, sitting quietly to write, taking moments just for yourself. Over time, the world teaches you to prioritize the urgent over the essential, the practical over the profound. And slowly, gently, those dreams are silenced. But silence is never truly empty. It hums beneath your daily life, whispering in fleeting moments of longing, surfacing when you see others daring to live boldly, or when a forgotten joy stirs unexpectedly in your memory. You may feel it as a soft ache in your chest, a flutter in your gut, or a restless whisper in the quiet of the night. It is the quiet pulse of your soul reminding you have not forgotten entirely. You have only delayed the meeting with yourself. The silence of forgotten dreams is a gentle alarm, not a condemnation. It asks you to pause, to notice, to return to the parts of yourself that have been set aside. It is the soul's way of saying, I am here, I am waiting, I still exist in you. Imagine honoring this silence instead of fearing it. Begin with the smallest step, a page of writing, a brushstroke, a note of music, a whisper of memory brought to life. Feel how each act of remembering, however tiny, rekindles the fire within. The dreams do not need to be realized immediately. They only need to be remembered, acknowledged, and invited back into your life. And when you do, the transformation is subtle at first, like the first light of dawn stretching across a darkened sky. Your heart begins to hum again. Your spirit feels fuller, lighter, more awake. The silence of forgotten dreams is not a grave. It is fertile soil. With tenderness, patience, and attention, it can bloom into the most profound expressions of your being, revealing that the love and aliveness you thought were lost have been quietly waiting for your return. This is more than nostalgia. It is the heart's intimate reminder that the most important love story, the one with your own soul, is intricately woven with your deepest longings. And in reclaiming your forgotten dreams, you are reclaiming the love that has been quietly whispering to you all along. Perhaps the most telling of them all is the seventh sign, the fear of being alone with yourself. It shows up in the small ways you keep yourself distracted, the endless scrolling, the constant noise, the perpetual busyness that leaves no room for silence. Because silence, if you allowed it, might reveal the ache you've been avoiding. It might show you the truth you've been running from, that somewhere along the way, you have lost touch with your own soul. To sit with yourself, truly sit, without distraction, without escape, can feel unbearable when you are estranged from your own heart. The quiet feels heavy, the stillness unnerving. And so you reach for something, anything, to fill the space. You tell yourself you're keeping busy, but beneath it all is fear. Fear of meeting yourself, fear of hearing the whispers of your own being. But here is the gentle truth. What you fear is not yourself, but the loneliness of disconnection. When you are in union with your soul, being alone is never emptiness. It is fullness. It is companionship. It is rest. The silence that once terrified you becomes a sanctuary. The solitude that once felt like exile becomes a homecoming. Take a breath and imagine this. Sitting quietly, not to escape, not to distract, but simply to be with yourself, and finding there not an enemy, not a stranger, but the deepest love you've ever known. The love that has been waiting, patient and steady, beneath every noise and every distraction. The fear of being alone with yourself is not a flaw. It is a signpost, a tender invitation to return, to remember that the love you've been searching for in 1,000 places has been within you all along, waiting for the moment you would turn inward and let it embrace you. And when you do, you will discover something profound. You were never truly alone. You were simply waiting to recognize the companion who has walked with you through every breath, every step, every moment, your own soul. Now that you have gently traveled through these 7 signs, the hollow echo of disconnection, the constant search outside yourself, the restlessness that never quiets, the neglect of your own needs, the weight of constant comparison, the silence of forgotten dreams, and the fear of being alone with yourself, something begins to shift. Each sign is not a critique nor a judgment. They are tender invitations. They are the gentle language of your own soul whispering, "Come back. I have been here all along." They remind you that the most profound love story you will ever experience is not written in another person's gaze, in fleeting approval, or in external achievements. It is written in daily, quiet devotion you offer to your own being. Imagine waking each day wrapped in the warmth of your own understanding, cradled by your own compassion, feeling seen, known, and loved, not by someone else, but by the very essence of yourself. This is the love that has always been waiting. This is the love that heals the restless heart, fills the hollows, and rekindles forgotten dreams. Let these signs be your guide. When you notice a pull outward, pause and turn inward. When you feel restless, sit in the silence. When your dreams lie quiet, reach for them tenderly. When you fear being alone, lean into the presence of your own soul. Each step is a thread in the tapestry of a daily, transformative love affair with yourself. If this spoke to your heart, remember, you are not alone on this journey. Explore more whispers, reflections, and meditations on this channel, gentle reminders that nothing is chased, and where what is real is always remembered. Let yourself linger, return often, and allow your soul to be met with love, tenderness, and the unwavering companionship it has always deserved. And now, take a deep breath, feel the pulse of your own being, and remember, the most important love story of your life is here, waiting quietly, patiently, beautifully within you.